This is Jamaica. Jamaica is known for its tourism attraction and its natural wonders and natural beauty. But we are also known for our music and our culture, which is
the weed policy. How a country them flip it, make we manage it. Check we and the kill it with me first. Sing. Me and the crew, we're on another level.
Yes, people, dancehall is a genre of Jamaican popular music that originated in the late 1970s. Dancehall was a more sparse version of the reggae than of the root style, which dominated much of the 1970s. You know, say in the mid 1980s, digital instrumentation became more prevalent, changing up the sound considerably, with digital dancehall becoming increasingly characterized by more faster rhythms. Key elements of dancehall music include its extensive use of the Jamaican language. You know what me talk about already, patois, rather than the standard Jamaican English, and focus on mostly track instrumentals, what you call rhythm.
Boy, give them the big show for 600.
Up to the time, and I'm sit down all of the money must the country now run right. Yeah, hear me? Let me sit down all of the people that must have for the 2001 a new government. Look!
Dancehall saw initial mainstream success in Jamaica in the 1980s, and by the 1990s, it has become increasingly popular in the Jamaican diaspora communities. Yes, what may I say? The Jamaican communities, when I'm talking about the diaspora communities. In the 2000s, dancehall experienced worldwide mainstream success, and by the 2010s, it began to heavily influence the work of established Western artists and producers, which has helped to further bring the genre to the Western music mainstream. Dancehall is named after Jamaican dancehalls, in which popular Jamaican recordings were played by local sound systems. They began in the late 1940s among people from the inner city of Kingston who were not able to participate in dances in the uptown era. So you know, say back in them days, you have uptown people, you have downtown people. So you know, say a two different class of party. So you don't know, say, I saw dancehall get it origin from. I saw dancehall born. Social and political changes in the late 1970s Jamaica, including the change from the socialist government of Michael Manley, People's National Party, to Edward Seaga, Jamaica Labour Party, were reflected in the shift away from the more internationally orientated roots reggae towards a style geared more towards local consumption and in tune with the music that Jamaicans had experienced when sound system performed live. Themes of social injustice, repatriation, and the Rastafarian movement were overtaken by lyrics about dancing, violence, and sexuality. Back in those days, sound systems such as Kilimanjaro, Black Scorpio, Gemini Disco, Virgo Hi-Fi, Volcano Hi-Power, and Aces International soon capitalized on the new sound and introduced a new wave of DJs. The older toasters were overtaken by new stars such as Captain Sinbad, Rankin Joe, Lone Ranger, Josie Whale, Charlie Chaplin, General Echo, and Yellowman. A change reflected by the 1981 Juno Laws produced album A Whole New Generation of DJs, although many went back to Uri for inspirations. So back in them days, you know say I saw the dancehall thing just rise. Cause DJs record became for the first time more important than records featuring singers. Another trend was sound clash albums featuring rival DJs or sound system competing head to head for the appreciation of live audience, with underground sound clash cassettes often documenting the violence that came with such rivalries. Sound systems and the development of other musical technology heavily influenced dancehall music. The music needed to get where the radio didn't reach because Jamaicans oftentimes were outside with radios, especially because the audience of dancehall sessions were lower class people. It was extremely important that they be able to hear music. Sound system allowed people to listen to music without having to buy a radio. Therefore, the dancehall culture grew as the use of technology and sound system got better. The Jamaican dancehall scene was one created out of creativity and a desire for accessibility, and one that is inseparable from sound system culture. The term dancehall, while now typically used in reference to the specific and unique Jamaican genre of music, originally referred to a physical location. This location was always an open air venue from which DJs and later toasters, a percussioner to MCs, could perform their original mixes and songs to their audience via their sound system. The openness of the venue paired with the innately mobile nature of the sound system allowed performance to come to the people. At the onset of the dancehall scene, sound systems were the only way that some Jamaican audience might hear the latest song from popular artists. Through time, it transformed to where the purveyors of the sound systems were the artists themselves, and they became whom the people came to see along with their own original sound. With the extreme volume and low bass frequencies of the sound system, local people might very well feel vibration of the sound before they could even hear them. So, just like when I grew up and sound a blast on the road, I can feel the place a jerk up. Though the sound itself did travel for miles. You see me? Jamaica was one of the first cultures to pioneer the concept of remixing. As a result, production level and sound system quality were critical to Jamaicans' budding music industry. Since many locals couldn't afford sound system in their home, listening to one at the dance hall or the dance party or at a festival was their entry to audible bliss.
Appreciate when someone chicken, some of them want steak. Then drink off the liquor from out of the crate. Cause every man come want a slice of the cake. Me say you see a dancehall, say you see it, Lord. Me say you safer than the feather, we in a pillowcase. You safer than the documents in a briefcase. The first thing to do, me say pick up yourself straight. You look more pleasant with a smile on your face. No matter your color, your age, nor your race. Around the dining table, say remember your grace. Cause food without flavor, it don't carry taste. Take time, and you make mistake. You want to get a ball if you not tie your shoes lace. But that's a comfortable with the drum and the bass. Make control the rhythm, make you wind up your waist. Showcase, this, Yeah, I'm the operator. I will answer John Ringo.
In the 1980s, this was the era that set dancehall to motion, that bring rise to new stars in the early 90s.
You coulda come from Rima or you come from jungle.
Ooh, yeah. Feel it, I believe that you find. Don't look back, don't look
By the early 2000s, dancehall had gained mainstream popularity in Jamaica, as well as in the United States, Canada, Australia, and western parts of Europe. This was first seen with artists such as Sean Paul, whose single Get Busy became the first dancehall single to reach number 1 on the US Billboard Hot 100. Unlike earlier dancehall, this new evolution was characterized by structures of music commonly heard in mainstream pop music, such as repeated choruses, melodic tunes, and hooks. Some lyrics were cleaner and featured less sexual content and profanity. Some of the artists who popularized this new era of dancehall were Bounty Killer, Beanie Man, Elephant Man, Popcorn, Vibes Cartel, Conscience, Mr. Vegas, Movado, Lady Saw, and yours truly Spice, some of whom saw Moving on, we take a modern day approach of how dancehall has evolved in modern times. Dancehall is not actually just a single genre, but is actually a blanket term for any music that has come from Jamaica and shares similarities in bass lines and rhythms. There are sub-genres of dancehall that have emerged from the island over the last 60 years, include examples such as calypso, ska, rocksteady, and roots. Music is an essential part of Jamaican culture and daily life, and is intertwined into every aspect of society. While dancehall is my passion, perhaps you will find a different one for yourself. It has become so popularly positioned around the world that using it as a pedagogical tool is inevitable. Jamaican culture, with the help of reggae and then dancehall, has blossomed to unprecedented proportions, especially considering that Jamaica is a third world country. With all these changes, this Jamaican indigenous music has gone through many problems, including cross-cultural conflict as the music became more popular internationally. Because of these hindrances, an array of opportunities exist for persons, so people can listen, especially people from the Caribbean, and a lot of persons listen to dancehall too, and it help impact them life. You see, it help better them life. Yes, we are not denying that the lyrics of dancehall are sometimes raunchy, but put in the context of Jamaican culture, those same lyrics may have different meaning. Therefore, looking at dancehall for its advantages is very important, as a people can listen and know say this is our culture. So dancehall is a Jamaican thing, and we have to embrace it, because dancehall is gonna be here for as long as ever. It's gonna be here forever. Just like Bob Marley did for reggae, and reggae, out of reggae give birth to dancehall. That's just the most basis of it. Dancehall, a Jamaican story.
We got live on stage just for you. It's got to be the sweet lady, Lady G.